Well, after messing around with the ship, I can adequately say, I am so lost. Let's just review another Green Lantern episode today. Today's episode is called Into the Abyss, which is a fitting name for the plot actually. It opens up with Razer and Kilowag eating and just being angry at having to work alongside one another, and they kind of act like children in this opening bit.
The ship's too small for this nonsense. I want you two to shake hands. It's an Earth custom to show there's no hard feelings. Come on, shake hands.
Then they get a distress call from a balding old alien who is flying near a pinhole with one engine down and another slowing the inevitable, as he puts it. And from the short amount of research I did, a pinhole is a camera or projection technique that is most commonly used for viewing eclipses, but also a mathematical relationship between coordinates of a point in a 3D space, and I've probably lost you at this point since even I don't understand this stuff. Long story short, they use the term pinhole incorrectly. Kilowog think this is a trap by the Red Lanterns, but Razer reassures how by saying it's not a trap, since apparently Razer was the one who set all the traps for the Red Lanterns. Lucky find Hal, not only is Razer a good fighter, and your only expert on how Red Lantern powers work, but he was also the trap master for them. Hal, being the good guy he is, decides that they are going to help the captain out.
What's a pinhole?
It's a microscopic black hole at the center of a whirlpool of energy. The closer that ship gets to the pinhole, the stronger gravity becomes.
And that's the point I was trying to get across earlier. Pinhole does not mean that. A micro black hole is just that. A micro black hole, or quantum mechanics black hole, or a mini black hole. So yeah, there's your astronomy lesson for the day.
It'll compress that cargo ship into a space tighter than a grub worm's vacuum.
I have no idea what that is. Also, the energy around the black hole is red. Why? I don't know. The tractor beam fails because black holes capture even light. The captain then tries to deploy his tow cables to link up to the interceptor, but of course the black hole beneath them gets them first, forcing them to have to do it manually. We also learned from Kilowog that Green Lanterns train under intense gravitational pressure at times, like Vegeta. I had questions why risk 3 lives to save 1, and Hal just tells her, it's what we do, like a generic hero. While pulling the tow cables, Kilowog leaves Razer behind because he hates weak teammates or something, so Hal helps Razer instead, and they successfully attach them but go back to save the captain. And it turns out that the captain's hull is a bunch of eggs that are close to hatching.
Who cares? Only vermin and insects hatch from eggs.
I hatched from an egg.
My point exactly.
Yep, Razer and Kilowog still hate each other. Razer also thinks saving the eggs is a waste of time, probably because their mission was technically to rescue the captain, not his hull. Hal takes the captain to the interceptor while leaving Razer and Kilowog to try and restart the ship's busted engine.
I heard of you, Green Lanterns. I know you're brave and all, but you're crazy to go back.
Brave, crazy, it's a fine line.
Oh yay, that trope. That's not annoying at all. If you don't know the trope, it's basically where a hero does something most people would either call crazy or stupid in order to do something good or heroic. Even as a small throwaway kind of line, I get tired of it. Aya also tries to speak up about an idea on how to conserve the ship's energy while it's being pulled, but Hal just flat out ignores her. What is this, the 1950s? I wonder how Kilowog and Razer are doing right now.
I hope you're good at math,
It wasn't me. This ship is falling to pieces, and I'm sick of your self-righteous praying, you fat Greeno!
Yep, seems accurate. Something from the falling apart ship almost hits Kilowog, so he blames Razer. That's real discrimination right there, blue check marks on Twitter. It's a pretty good fight scene as well, until Hal steps between them to stop it. Dang it, Hal, I wanted to watch them duke it out. However, Aya turns off, which freaks the captain out. I mean, it's only almost all operational systems randomly shutting down for no reason.
What happened to her?
I don't care, we're out of time!
How do you manage to knock yourself out, ship captain? You suck. It's no wonder you got yourself in this situation if you can barely pilot a ship. And because he has moved the interceptor, the tow cables were released and now the ship is just falling into the black hole. Hal, Razer, and Kilowag are stuck near the bottom of the ship with a bunch of useless cargo and barely manage to stay alive. As the ship is being compressed because black hole physics, Kilowag goes out to grab the tow cable and pull the ship out of the black hole, or at least slow its descent. I'm not making this up, he is this amazingly strong. Razer almost gets compressed, but is able to make it out on his own, but they're being followed by something. They believe the eggs have hatched, or at least some of them, and the creatures are eating the power lines, so they try to stop it. Hal's green light doesn't affect it, which does play into something later, so Razer just shoots them instead. The ship captain wakes up finally, and decides to give Kilowag a power boost, only to almost shoot him. Stop helping, dude. Hal and Razer try to fly up to the ship to get closer to the engine, until Razer comes up with the idea to shoot themselves up. Yep, a ridiculous tactic actually works. What is this, Dungeons and Dragons?
They doomed us all. What now?
This engine isn't just offline. It's frozen solid.
How the fuck does that work? I don't think cooling liquid would freeze it solid if it stops working.
Those alien hatchlings ate through the lines that power the heaters.
That still doesn't explain how it froze. Either the ship has the AC set to basically absolute zero, or the generator was just that terrible at generating its own heat. Because snow just can't magically form in outer space, guys. Anyways, Hal lets the supposed hatchlings in, and they help restart the generator. Somehow. Never really explained. And it turns out that the things are actually small robots being controlled by Aya. Talk about an almost literal Deus Ex Machina. So the engines are fired up, and Kilowag gets tired and falls closer to the black hole, so Razer saves him. Yup, they respect each other now.
Not to worry, we are still flying half a ship.
So, how do they escape? Hal flies to the pinhole and rides the energy around it to build up velocity and shoot themselves out. No joke, they just go complete bullshit and escape.
Spin with the vortex! But that's crazy! Have any better ideas?
Of course, their made-up science works, and everyone is safe and happy. The hatchlings supposedly look cute, you be the judge on that one, and Aya again questions what makes a Green Lantern, to which Kilowag says a physical body to be able to talk with people and move around in scenarios. So she creates a body with all the spare parts she just randomly had atop the ship.
I'm gonna boner!
Hooray, another happy ending! This episode is alright. It's not as great as the other 3 episodes before it, but it isn't bad either. The plot is a standard rescue mission that goes south. I do like the character development between Razer, Kilowag, and even Aya. We see how they don't work together, but also how they realize they are a team and are forced to help one another to get out of the mess Hal got them into. The captain is a loser who can barely fly a ship without causing some sort of accident, though him knocking himself out is hilarious. However, the science does actually cost this episode some points, just because it was almost all complete bullshit, and I had to look it up just to make sure that it was bullshit. I mean, I'm not looking for a completely scientifically accurate show, and I know science fiction does make up scientific names and their own science, but some of what happened in this episode doesn't follow the science of how the concept actually works, like a black hole being surrounded by energy that's red with a blue center for some reason being called a pinhole, and the engine just freezing for some unexplained reason. I give this episode a 7 out of 10 because I was still entertained by it. I'm Wolf, and I'll see you all later.
I can totally fix it! Oh no.